What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's episode we're gonna talk about a bit of what we're gonna do with the yellow car, us getting the title, well not the title, the salvage certificate from the insurance company, and that leading to bring that baby back. So first things first, let's go and look the yellow car. A couple of things that we found under the car that were not disclosed, but it's fine. We're gonna take care of that in a soon.
To show you what we found on the car, we need to backtrack a few days.
Driver's side rail, as you can see, it's split right here. They tried to put it back together and they did a terrible job. And we had some issues removing the radiator. Is because this bar and this section right here was pushing the radiator inward, so I have a hard time doing that. This one looks okay for the most part. The headlight bucket looks good. Not so much here. Somebody drill or expanded the holes. I don't know what they were trying to do there. And all this welding, they look popcorn looking like. They look very suspicious. So we're gonna have to fix all that. Just so you guys have an idea, this is how the front of a clean NSX should look like. And like I was pointing out before, you can see here, I don't know if the camera's picking it up, this is in a weird angle. That's the welding that we are supposed to have on an NSX. No, that popcorn over there. And I measured the distance between So every time I put my finger, it's gonna focus on the finger. I measured the distance between that corner to that rail to that rail, and it's roughly 29 inches. And I guess you can pick it up. You see the nice welding that this car has compared to the other one. And the battery tray split. Like I said before, these one, I don't even know what the hell happened here. Well,
the car was previously turbocharged and it came with a blown engine. We noticed that the return coolant pipe was in pretty bad shape, potentially being the reason for the car overheating.
Everything looks a-okay. I mean, we literally have seen it worst. Of course, did a great job with the zip ties. No protection underneath, but it's fine. A lot of wiring upgrades. Axles are in great shape, as you can see. Control arms are a-okay. We have some Connie suspension. When I was taking the carpets, I noticed that there were some. That one right there. The camera can pick it up. There. Well, let's focus on my finger, but you guys can see it. So this one have the CD changer, and somebody had the great idea that instead of putting it back in the original position, they just drill a hole and put a screw in between the carpet and the bracket, and then we got that. We also have that. I don't know if you can see it. Beautiful welding from whoever trying to fix the car. Same thing applies there. We're probably gonna have to replace the whole thing or re-weld the thing. Some very poor work right there.
After witnessing the poor craftsmanship in repairing the car, we decided to revise the front rail since we noticed some odd bumps on it while dismantling the front of the car. To our surprise, we discovered a very well hidden wall of Bondo applied to the front rail, trying to conceal a poorly executed fix of the front accident with a stud welded gun. After sharing some pictures with our friends at Blackjack about our last minute discovery, we decided to do some media blasting on the area to uncover any potential new issues with the chassis before we take the car to Georgia to do some frame work.
A few moments later.
We blasted the front of the car, as you can see, removed the paint. It was, all this was like a wall of Bondo. The radiator support is definitely not in the greatest of shape. As you can see, this area is pushed inwards a little bit. That should be out that way. We take some measurements, and it's 3/4 of an inch, probably less, pushed to the inner of the car. So you can see there, compared to that area, to that corner, there's a little crease. So that is what we need to adjust on the car to make it straight. Nothing major, nothing that we cannot take care of, but that's what we're dealing right now. And yes, actually the car was red, no black. That was my bad. I said that before, and that's not accurate. We're gonna have to replace that, or find another, or re-weld it, or replace. We still have to figure that one out. The driver's side, the passenger side issues was just on the door, and that's, I think, what they replaced it with another door, even though it was the wrong door. They put a Targa door. I guess that's what was available at the time. Corrosion, we found that. We have already another part for this, no big deal. But you know, seems like corrosion is our middle name. The back of the car, it is straight with the exception of this plate. They did a very poor job fixing it, as you can see right there. 1, 2, 3. And here they pretty much didn't care. They just covered with Bondo, and they did the same thing here. You know, great craftsmanship of the early 2000s. That section of the car is fine. That is bent and cracked. That's why we couldn't open the trunk. Oh yeah, that's the hole that I told you guys before. The bracket for the CD changes right here, and they just decided to drill a hole in there instead of using the bracket. So I don't know what they were thinking. 3 things that we have to deal with, like I said before: front of the car, rail, this area right here, and the trunk lid arm. But we're moving forward with the project. Since we got a response from the insurance company, you know, we're trying to expedite the process. But you know, we're working with other people that are helping in the project, so we should be getting the car back sometime next week, and I should be there when they start working on the car, so I can make a video and you guys can see all the issues being addressed by our friends at Blackjack, and then bring the car back and section it, because the rear of the car is going to go to the far car, and the front of this car is going to go to the rear car. And just to do a quick reminder of why we're doing that, I'm going to go back into the garage. Yes, the rear car is back on the lift, and I'm going to show you why. All right, we're back in the garage, and so let me show you why. In the previous episode, I think it was episode 7, if I'm not mistaken, we showed that part of the car, right? And then we saw in the corner some corrosion and pitting. We noticed that the front of the car is not from this car originally, and then the more I start digging, more of the 30-liter secret starts showing up, and that's what there is, all these holes of the welding that they did back in the 2000s. So that's where we're gonna be sectioning the front. The rear is in much better shape than the front, believe it or not. And since we're actually gonna restore the car, there is no point on fixing that and that and that, because it was mistreated. So that's why we're gonna be changing the front of the rear car with the yellow car. That way, it's gonna be a solid chassis. We're gonna fix it the OEM style by the book, and we should have the river car back on the road and the fire car back on the road. As in right now, what we're doing is vapor blasting some of the parts that we have that we're gonna be reusing in the on the river car, original parts from '91 that they've been sitting underwater for the past 16 years. And yes, kudos to Honda, man, because those parts were over-engineered, and even though they've been sitting underwater for 16 years and then exposed to the heat and dirt and moist and everything, we just clean them off and they still look pretty solid, so we can reuse them. So that's it for this episode. It's going to be a small episode just to keep you up to date on what we're doing. Like I said, next episode is going to be us being in Georgia, showing you where we're going to be, how we're going to be addressing the issues with the car, and then after that we're going to be sectioning the yellow car so we can rescue the fire car and the river car. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Peace. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and comment our videos. Please consider subscribe to our channel, as well as visit our other media accounts at Helix Auto Works on Instagram and Facebook.